Welcome back. Welcome back. We are here. We are live, technically, give or take the moment that this comes out. The Dad Panther Body Streamer, content creator, master of none. I'm sitting here, not the super fan, Manny. How you doing today?
All right.
All right. So we got some topics we'll get into. Today's episode is a three count. We talk about three important things to us. If you got something that's important, put in the comment. We'll try to talk about it. You know how that goes. And then sometimes we'll give you, that extra count, that extra attempt for the pinfall because, they get their shoulder up. That's just what it is. So today we're going to talk about Dawkins, how I feel Dawkins is a future piece in the WWE, though people don't think so. We'll talk about Ticketmaster or ticket pricing in general with TKO, and then we'll come back and still talk about TKO and just kind of sit in the area with Wrestlepalooza and that's happening with ESPN. And then we'll give you that extra thing right there, and we'll talk about AAA's World Collide, as AAA is now a product as the WWE co-produced with them, and they're a subsiding company under TKO and the WWE. So without further ado, let's get into the first thing. Let's go ahead and talk about this right here. I feel like it's the elephant in the room. I feel like, yes, we can talk about that, the breakup and the singles push for both of these individuals. And don't forget BFAB. They can move on to the next chapter of their career. Should have happened 3 years ago. Elimination Chamber. Ford was literally being played as a major piece in a lot of these matches, Money in the Bank, all that stuff. And we are where we're at now. Where do you see this going? Do you have an idea where you would book it? Like, what does this look like to you when it happens?
So, like I said before, if you don't remember, I don't want it to be like a breakup where, they backstab each other. Be like, it will be better off like an argument and they break off. Boom, leave it as that, and they do their own thing. Then they probably meet up once in a while and have a match. There's still like heated argument there, but I don't want it to be like a backstab situation because it's always the same spiel. One tag team member backstab. I think it should be just like all right, we're done. I have an argument and they break up. I really think Dawkins, if booked correctly, he could be contender where he's up there, probably in the mid card belt portion. Montez, I think he can go mid card all the way up to probably heavyweight champion or even universal. But again, it's all how WWE book these guys. Because we know WWE has a tendency of not booking certain wrestlers.
Wait, what are you talking about? Triple H said he don't see colors. What?
So it's all on how they book these guys. But again, they break up the how their next, if they separate, how they reintroduce themselves gonna matter. The music presentation is gonna always matter. First impressions, when Jay came out, his music kind of hit with the crowd. Well, you have the Street Profit now, where their tag team music is like, people like in France, everybody was. Now you don't have that no more. Now you got to have your own music. How is that gonna hit? So that's where it is. BFAB, she's the last couple matches I've seen her, she's been doing great in the ring. I think she could be there in the women's championship, but again, it's just the booking, the writing is how good. Because right now, even look at Mi Chang, they're just playing around with her.
Yeah, we talked about her before. I need to see more of her.
I would say
a lot of people that just aren't getting the spotlight right now.
If she was in NXT with Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels got a thing for the sisters, so
I could have buried a sweeter and a killer, but don't push me. Tupac said that.
And he's doing great over there with the women's. So I think if she goes over there, she probably would do better than instead of the main roster. No,
bomb. Okay, listen. This is how I'm booking it. Okay, you already fucked up whatever. Not you in general, but they already effed up this 3 years ago where we could have done this, and unfortunately, it wouldn't have been good for Dawkins because Dawkins and BFAB would have just kind of They weren't a part of that plan. I don't think there was nothing seen. But this right now, the frustration, a little, like I said before, I've said briefly in another episode, let's go and lean heavily on what Karrion Kross said, that Dawkins and BFAB are going to go do their separate ways, and Ford is going to end up fighting with someone else and these two others. We already know who that is. That's Bianca. We're already waiting for Bianca's heel turn. We're already waiting for Ford to be that next guy. I think Ford's music should come out and be something, but I think his gimmick should be Shawn Michaels. You did it last. We talked about it before. We did it time with Zig. I think it's time to do it again and put the full backing, because Zig did a great job as it. They just never fully gave it to him. It should have been me. I think you bring him out. You can also put a bodyguard with him and Bianca, kind of like Big E was with AJ. And like you bring that up again to bring out that next new guy, because it's not Dawkins. He's not doing that for him. And then basically what you do is you have them win the tag team titles. You have them win the tag team titles, and then they're arguing each week about something, but they're still winning. And then you have it where you've seen in the last match against the White family, you saw them change the dynamic. It used to be that Ford was the high flyer. He was doing everything. Now you saw Ford get isolated, take all the damage, and Dawkins comes out, and he's that big brawler. He's the one clearing the ring. He's the one protecting his buddy. And I liked that dynamic. I thought it was different. It reminded me early on NXT when they came together. So anyways, they do this for a little bit. They win at a pay-per-view to retain. And then Dawkins basically cuts a promo, whether he leaves him in the ring, whether he takes the belt and says, "Hey man, let's release the belts. Let's leave them here." That's what I would do. I'm like, yo, cut the music. You know, we just won it again. It's on Raw, it's on SmackDown. It doesn't matter. I don't know if the draft is happening. And it's like, hey, listen here. Cut the fucking music. You really want to do this, man? This is what we want to do. This is what our dreams have been. To do this, to be tag team titles. Like we've been all over the world. We've seen everything. And we're sitting here, and you know you gotta go. And I gotta go. I gotta go do me. So let's leave it all in the ring. Let's leave it in the ring right here. And they basically agree to drop the tag team titles, starts a tournament, let some other shit happen. And Dawkins tells him respectfully, I'm a big fish like you are. I'm not just a mid card to the people who are thinking I'm a mid card. You're not a mid card. We're next. And Ford starts his like sexy boy thing, like, oh, I'm the greatest thing ever, and and the ladies on the night, I'm gonna be all right. And he's got a few catchphrases, you know, because you need to start these catchphrases, whatever his thing's gonna be. And then Dawkins cuts him off and say, hey, listen, man, maybe you got it twisted. Maybe the whole WWE universe has it twisted. I was here before you. It was all business when I was here. And when I was here, then you popped up years later. I was already on NXT holding it down by myself. And I didn't get that singles push because they said, we want you to help this guy. We want you to bring this guy along. So I got a tag team partner. That was you. And we went undefeated and we won gold. And I never changed it. I had to stay in the back, let you high fly, let you do everything that you were doing. Everybody was like, he gonna be next. He got the girl. He got the look. But I've been keeping it straight business this whole time. So don't get it twisted. Let's be respectful. Let's separate. That way goes with that angle that you said, which is you don't want them beefing. Yeah. They want to show that they're the best. And he said, hey, it's over. Straight business. And that's his catchphrase. Let's get to business. And he said, let's go. And you're like, damn, he just told him it's over. What do you mean, let's go? And B-Fab goes with him. B-Fab and him, they don't have to be an item. It gives her a push for the singles on the same thing. She's the manager or mouthpiece with him. They're interchangeable. He comes off as a heel. They can both still be heels. Dawkins comes off as a heel. I think his gimmick should be JBL. He should be that guy who's all about business. Kind of a little bit what we saw with MVP and Sheldon Benjamin and forgetting his name right now.
Bobby Lashley?
Yes. So he just comes off as that guy who's wearing nice suits and he's all about business, just straight business. And they've got their music. They do what they do. And then it becomes a 3-match series on who can show who's the best. Montez wins the first one, Dawkins wins the second one, and then they go to do the third one, and it's a burnout because somebody else jumps in that's going to fuel Montez Ford in a different direction and Dawkins in a different direction, and that's it. And then you've done what you could have done with the series or with those two, and that's how that would play off to me. I would look at it that way and say, hey, we gave them what they needed. Now we need a book and figure something out with it. So that's how I would write that one. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about tickets in the WWE and just
rent money, basically.
mortgage, rent money, utilities, taking food out of the kids' mouths, literally. The thing that I want to just, it's not, I don't even know if it's a question as much as it's a statement. WWE Universe fans, all elite fans, wrestling fans in general, just people who like to consume entertainment. Where the fuck were you the last few decades? Like, I'm a 90s baby, 80s baby. I grew up in the 90s where we had to like wait in line at Ticketmaster or when a new album came out or CD came out, and that's how you got your tickets, and you were on the phone, and you're trying to get the tickets in. There was a few fees, but whatever. Then you're watching people try to get tickets for Ariana Grande, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, Kendrick Lamar, so many more, and you're watching them be frustrated that the ticket pricing is ridiculous and it's not fair to the artist or it's not fair to the merchandising. And it's all these fees and stuff that's happening. And you guys are sitting there like, that's on them. Not affecting me and my WWE tickets. Not affecting me and my pay-per-view tickets. Now you're seeing tickets being ridiculous. Now you're trying to figure out what pre-sale has to do with why prices are being jacked up at a short period of time and what's the best strategy. Should I wait and only buy during pre-sale, or should I wait until the day of the event to try to get a more reasonable price? And I just look at it as like, it's unfortunate. Like, I feel like you can put this with a lot of stuff that happens in the world. Why do we wait until after some shit to pop off before we sit there and say, oh no, they're getting me too? I don't like it. So my question is like, why is all the fuss and shock over the ticket prices and things that are happening right now?
Again, it's some people, I guess, didn't predict that it was going to happen. Didn't believe that it was going to happen, because even like I remember the last couple SmackDown or Raw show I went to, and good seats. I got good seats, and it didn't cost me more than $1,000. Cost probably like $500, and I got like probably 4 or 5 people in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Where now, yo, it's ridiculous. Again, TKO, we talked about in the last episode that they're trying to make their money back some way or another. Some way they're gonna have to get your last dollar, make that money back, and if they have to raise the ticket prices, it is what it is. But again, some people, diehard fan, are still gonna be willing to pay for it, whereas some of us might look at it, oh, you know what? I'm not going to the show. Somebody might, okay, there's extra space available for me and my family. I'm going to buy tickets now. Some people want, like, the people who actually wants to go see it, like, okay, less people are going to go, so I'll be able to go. So more space for me, and I can spend the money. I think the shock value is all talk, because people are still going to spend the money on the WWE, because, again, I would say the product, if the product is still there and people still enjoying it, because people are still big fan, they're still gonna pay. No matter how much they go online and bitch about it, people are still gonna spend money. And I think they're just bitching, and people are still gonna go buy their WWE ticket and go home and bitch about it that they spent this much money to go watch the show, and this show wasn't that great, all that. But I think the bad thing is, or is a good thing, is going to push more people to AEW, which is, I think, is a good thing, where you have that competition. And good competition is good, where a lot of time where WWE is releasing wrestlers, at least they'll have a company that's stable from the loss of WWE that they could go to. So, and it could work in two ways. With it could be a good thing or a bad thing, but all around, I think it's gonna affect the whole industry in a whole, in a good way or a bad way. But I think for now, it might be a good thing for AEW and other wrestlers in the indies, where you divert a lot of people towards that and more money in their pocket on that side. So that's how I feel.
All right, I okay, I get it. All right, so for the second coin, or the second side of the coin, we're going to talk primarily not about Wrestlepalooza. Hopefully, we come together to, at some point to talk the card before it comes out on the 20th in Indianapolis. But the fact that this, I feel like, is going to be an ESPN thing. It sounds like it's WrestleMania, but it's not. And I think the conversation, I'm being honest, I think the conversation, and it's crazy for New Orleans to kind of go through, Louisiana go through this, to lose WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia and lose it to Las Vegas. And then Wrestlepalooza, for whatever reason, doesn't go to Louisiana. It goes to Indianapolis. Okay. So ESPN said, hey, look, let's do this. This is what we want. This is going to be our first one. I think they're going to try to make this be big, where this is a yearly thing for ESPN. So my question is similar to the Saudi Arabia thing, and it goes into, that's just the business of it. How do you feel about companies paying for their own pay-per-views? You got a country that seems like, a business that went ahead and paid to bring it over to a certain country, and it looks like you're going to see ESPN and maybe another company down the road to say, hey, look, we want our own pay-per-view too. How much do we have to pay to get one of the big fours or make a new one ourselves?
So I think the reason they're paying for it is, again, how often do you get on your phone or say, like, let me get on the ESPN app to watch something?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I think they're spending that money to get more traffic on that app.
Mm-hmm.
Again, remember, they're owned by Disney, so they have that big company behind them. So you want that traffic to keep you relevant.
Yeah, you want that ad revenue.
I don't necessarily know how it's gonna help, because it's not like they have SmackDown, Raw in there. It's just pay-per-view mainly. I think they're probably gonna have like after shows to show, like, but I don't think they have. It's just gonna be pay-per-view. So once every like twice, 3 times a month, you're gonna have traffic, people paying $60, $30 just to watch a pay-per-view. Or it might, again, that's another like two sides of the coin. Disney might be like, oh damn, we're not getting enough traffic, let's have a bundle.
We should have stayed with cable.
We should have, because I did have ESPN. Now I'm thinking I switched my bundle because I took ESPN up, because they was like, oh, you could do Hulu, HBO, and Disney Plus. So I took off ESPN, and now I'm thinking about doing, damn, do I get rid of HBO and get back ESPN?
No, see, I have HBO for HBO, and I get All Elite. I got Peacock, so I can get Saturday Night Main Event, because I think they're going to make that an ongoing thing. I think that's their deal. Peacock wants that, and they're going to keep it. And maybe the documentaries and reality shows will go to Google and YouTube. And then I have Hulu. So I got Hulu, which is supposed to get swallowed up. I think they're going to get rid of the app. I think it's going to get swallowed up by Disney Plus. So Disney's going to go with that. I already have ESPN Plus. That's how I watch, my Florida State or Kennesaw State University, Georgia, all those other, sports I want to watch. So I'm just curious how this fits in. But it's, man, I got to find out what the fuck I'm watching stuff. Like, oh, I'll go over here. Is that on Stars?
Yes.
No,
So
is that
many.
Paramount?
You got to
Paramount's about to buy
hoops.
WB, and WB has to deal with All Elite. So if they buy that, does that mean Paramount Plus is going to have it? But then Paramount Plus has UFC now. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm looking. Let me see if I could see the price. Wrestlepalooza.
Yeah, so I think I would not be surprised if next year we go into a scale that takes some of the bigger pay-per-views, if not all of them, and makes it where you have to pay for it. You're gonna have to pay for it, whether you pay for it on the ESPN app, but you're gonna pay for it. I don't think it's gonna be a part of
ESPN
free.
Unlimited.
And the fact that you have to pay the app or pay whatever to get it, if it's not a part of your bundle, whatever the case is, it's like you're doing it already. There's a number for it. I just don't have it.
And the interface for the app itself, I don't like it.
I didn't download it yet. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to be like, oh man, I got another app and I got to figure this out. So I don't want to.
Because right now I'm trying to figure this thing out, and it's like I can't even. I'm like trying to click create an account where now it's like where when I had Disney, all I had to do was log in and everything was set. But now you got to go in and create an account separately. But
yeah,
again,
see, I might have to do that this weekend while watching some wrestling.
Look,
that way I can kind of get that.
It's still blank, still not loading.
Okay, so then the sidebar to still talk about TKO and business. The thing that's interesting is yet again the WWE is going to counter some programming that All Elite is doing. I'm not going to say the wrestler's name. Some people know him as a dragon, the American Dragon. But point blank, you have a certain wrestler in All Elite who's now moved to commentary. He's going to be full-time commentary at All Elite. It's going to be pretty good. I think a lot of people are screaming, yes, yes, yes. So this individual said, hey, look, I don't know why they're doing this counter programming. I don't see the reasoning in it. I see how it could work. You're blocking everyone. You only have so much time. And if you're going to sit down with your family and watch something, the TV is only one. We're not doing picture in picture, which I don't understand how we don't have fucking picture in picture. Technology got good. We had picture in pictures in the 90s, early 2000s, and they just stopped putting that shit in TV. Like, you don't think I want to play video games and watch wrestling or football or rom-com? My wife is watching a rom-com and I'm over there playing fucking video games in the back, whatever. So the thing that I think is interesting is the dynamic of everybody collectively. What if, for whatever reason, what if not only do we have to pay for wrestling, but what if All Elite just took, because WrestleMania is going to Saudi Arabia 2027. What if they say, you know what? We're going to take our best wrestling. We're going to do a pay-per-view Revolution. Take Revolution and we're going to do it 2 nights. No big venue. Don't try to hit some ridiculous number. Just put together a really good crowd. And we're going to do it in North America. We're going to do it in Canada. We're going to go to the UK because normally they do their big one in London. So I'm just curious, why block? I mean, even right now, Wrestlepalooza in Indianapolis is up against right now All In Toronto. Right now, the last time I checked, they both had the exact same ticket. They were very close to, I think, 10,000 each. So you're trying to jump in this, and I feel like, is it working? Because if I was somebody at All Elite, that's exactly what I would do. I'm like, oh, they're going over there. We're gonna need let's do an all-woman pay-per-view or all-woman night, whatever. Let's give back. Let's bring some light up into this, and then let's do a pay-per-view at the same time as WrestleMania here. And because people can't, not everybody can travel over there. A lot of people are not going to be able to make that travel, and they're going to want to spend money, and they're going to want to be a part of wrestling, and they already have it marked on the calendar. So I'm going to look at their calendar and I'm saying, look, we'll do the same thing. And yes, a lot of people are going to watch WrestleMania. Don't get me wrong, especially if it's in the morning. Probably it'll be just interesting, cereal, PJs, and some WrestleMania. But can you imagine the night where it's only All Elite? And I would go a step further. I would do Revolution live 2 nights only at New Orleans, because the WWE passed on New Orleans 2 times. I would do my pay-per-view right there in the city of New Orleans, have the show open up with Lil Wayne and Hot Boys, 400 Degrees.
Now you just giving them ideas just to charge people way more.
No. Okay. Here's the thing. And I want to make sure I try to do this next year. Maybe we'll have to do a deal. Like if we get 20, I don't know. We'll see what Lingo says. If we get the 50 subscribers, maybe Lingo will send us to All Elite. The thing that I'm seeing with an All Elite event, when you go live to one of the pay-per-views, they give you so much more for your ticket value. You get a lot of times you'll get the seat, you'll get the meet and greet, you'll get a bunch of swag going to those live events for All Elite. So I don't think they're gonna charge more. I think they should take advantage of people want to see wrestling, affordable wrestling, and All Elite has been putting on some really good matches, good storylines, and so that's a perfect time to do what the WWE has been doing to them.
I know they're gonna be down here October 1st.
Yeah, I know, and I saw that. I was pissed because you're gonna get a chance to go. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm gonna send some money your way to pick up some and mail it and send it back. Send it back this way. And then you even have on the 27th, I think you have Homecoming for NXT.
Yeah, but that's in Orlando, I think, right?
Yeah.
I'm not driving to Orlando. I hate driving.
Well, I think you have another one too. There's isn't there one? I think there's one in Fort Lauderdale. Oh, yeah, Homecoming might be there, but I don't know if it's Heat Wave. Something is in yeah, there's something else that's there. Let me see if I can find it. There's something else that's there. But while we get into that, let's get into the next one. The next conversational piece is actually going to be Worlds Collides, which actually is going to take place right after Friday Night SmackDown. Now, we're not going to go through the full card. We'll probably do another video going through the full rundown of the card. But is there a certain match that grabs your attention where you're like, hey, now I'm not going to go through everything, but I'm going to tell you XYZ. And it's NXT No Mercy is the 27th of September in Fort Lauderdale. Damn it, it's another good one.
Damn.
That's a good card too.
What the match that?
Yeah, if you could pick one, yep.
It's gonna be Vikingo and Dominic as the main event. That's what's catching my eyes right now.
Okay, so that's the main match where you're like, hey, that's it. That's where you want to focus.
That's the match I'm mainly interested in, Vikingo, because I want to see what.
Yeah, why?
Because I know Vikingo is still not, hot with the crowd over there. But Dominic, he's been doing great as far as like his ring presence, and if he gets that double champion, what happens next?
He gets that heat. He gets to make some tours all over the world.
Yeah,
bouncing around. He gets that same heat that I thought Becky should have had. 2-belt Becky would have hit different. The match that I'm looking for, I was going to say another match, but nah, the match I'm looking forward to watch is Natalya low-key. Watching her versus Fabi Apache, if I'm saying it correctly. That's the match, because Fabi's been fabulous. So that's what I would like to see as far as that match goes. I think that's going to be a really good match. I'm hoping it's going to be a more of a technical match. Both ladies are older, but wine gets finer with age, so I ain't mad at it. So yeah, those are the two matches that we're going to go with. That's going to wrap up our show. We may get together and talk about this full card, may get together for some more roundtable discussion on what's going on in wrestling. But don't hesitate to put in the comments what you think the 3-count topic should be. And maybe we'll go ahead and talk on it. Hit the subscribe button, follow, like, share, all that other stuff. You could have been anywhere else in the world and you chose to be here with the Dad Panther and the not so super fan Manny. Until next time, lick loud. Shit, I'm a king.